Welcome to the REV Game of the Week, Saturday morning girls soccer. We're at Spartan Stadium, home of the East Ascension Lady Spartans. Today, the Prairieville Lady Hurricanes will take on East Ascension in a non-district girls soccer matchup. I'm Jeff Porsche along with Jolie Hartman. We'll take a break right now, and when we come back, we'll get to the starting lineups and the start of our game. You're watching the REV Game of the Week.
Here in Louisiana, our culture is the drumbeat of our lives. It's in everything we do. Sport, play, and staying connected. And REV is here to help you keep up with it all with buku speed. Internet speed that keeps going, connecting people across 10 parishes with homegrown support and service right in your backyard. Welcome to the next level in speed and reliability. Make the switch to REV. Visit us at letsrev.com.
Chris's Specialty Foods has you covered for tailgating this season. We do all the prep work so you can spend time enjoying your family and friends. Steaks, burgers, sausage, chicken, wild game, and many other great pork options. Our central location is now open on Wax Road behind the Walmart. And the new Highland location serves hot lunches and has a meeting space for your work team. New Orleans and Millerville are rocking as well. It's fast, affordable, and delicious. It's Chris's Specialty Foods.
Everybody loves Chris's.
We're REV Business, a local provider with nearly 90 years of experience. So when it comes to business in Louisiana, we know that personalized service is key. And we're here to go the extra mile with all fiber solutions that deliver what every business needs: reliability and quality. We're not just providers. We're the local team dedicated to helping you succeed. True partnerships are homegrown. REV Business, internet, phone, managed services. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
Welcome back to the REV Game of the Week, girls soccer, Prairieville at East Ascension. I'm Jeff Porsche, and Jolie Hartman is with me. This is Saturday morning soccer. It's a cold day. It's going to be in the 40s today, but the sun has come out. It didn't look like the sun was going to come out this morning, but it looks like it's going to be a pretty good but cold day for girls soccer. The two teams that we're going to see here, Prairieville, the Lady Hurricanes are 9-3-1, 2-0 in district play. East Ascension, they're 10-5-0 and 1-1 in district play. Now, they play in separate districts. We'll talk about that as the broadcast goes along. So this is not a 5-5A district matchup like it might be in football or basketball or baseball, but we'll talk about that as we go along. First, I want to talk about the head coaches, and so I'll take care of the Prairieville side as the guy who works right down the hall from me. You see him in the beanie out in the back. That's Chris Goodall. This is going to be a emotional match for him because he was the EA head coach for a long time. He was the head coach for 15 years, got him to the playoffs 14 straight years. Then he gave up coaching for a while and was just a teacher at EA. And now he's moved to Prairieville, and he is now the girls' head coach. He's made one semifinal, and he's got a pretty good team going so far this season. And now I'm going to turn it over to Jolie, and she'll talk about East Ascension.
Yeah, so exciting things happening at EA with first-year coach Mindy Olivier. I mean, coming to EA, she has spoke about just the talent that EA has and trying to form something new. You know, she kind of down the bayou from Thibodaux, went to E.D. White, and she went to college at UL Monroe. Mindy is very excited about her first year here at East Ascension. She said that Ascension Parish has always been something that she has looked to and, things like that to coach in. So being at EA is truly a gift for Mindy. And, looking at their record, 10-5-0, Mindy is, in charge of trying to come back from Jen Franklin, having this team for the last 6 years. So already in her first year, she's having a winning record, and that's something that speaks volume of her coaching style.
Right, and she's got a chance to make the postseason this season and continue the progress that Coach Franklin has done over the years here at East Ascension. And, of course, before that, Chris Goodall. So he's going to have some fun out here today. Prairieville High School is still looking for its first ever win against another Ascension Parish team from 5A. And this could be the day, or maybe not, but He's his team's going to be ready. Now, like I said, this is not a district matchup, as these two teams play in different districts. Now, these two teams are in 5A in most other sports, but in girls soccer and boys soccer, Prairieville plays in Division II. You got the Division I, you got the traditional District 5, 5A thing with Denham, Dutchtown, EA, Live Oak, Santa Monica, Walker. Prairieville plays with Liberty, Livonia, Tara, and West Feliciana, and that confuses some people. It confused me when Chris told me that was what was going to happen. But there's reasons for that. Part of it, and you can elaborate more because I know you know a little bit about it, but part of it is soccer isn't divided between select and non-select. They're all in one big pool, and there are several teams that don't play soccer, especially on the higher levels. Like, for example, those are all the Baton Rouge area teams that play soccer. Like, there's no Broadmoor, no McKinley,
Correct.
no Bel Air. So there's fewer teams, and so the pool is kind of joined, and then they got a lot of teams out. But what else do you know about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, soccer has always been very different from any other sport around campus, truly because there is no split. There is no select and non-select. Everybody plays everybody, and it just goes into enrollment. And then if there is a new school, they always put them down a level to kind of build up and things like that. But it's really exactly what you said. It's just the pool of who you're going to play and where you're going to play. It's also kind of crazy because in every division there are different districts and that kind of stuff. So Prairieville was lined up with West Feliciana and them just because of the fact if they weren't, then they would have to go all the way down to New Orleans for district games. So you know, they kind of go by the geographic location and things like that. But it's definitely a plus side for Prairieville to be able to go down to Division II to kind of learn their program a lot better than already kind of facing the big dogs in Division I.
And the student enrollments are not equal. EA, Santa Monica, and Dutchtown all have around 2,000 students there, whereabouts. For the first year, because there are very few juniors and seniors at Prairieville, the enrollment is somewhere between 1,200 and 1,400. And when they proposed the number to LHSAA, they proposed about 1,200 to 1,300, and that's about what it is. So that's kind of the major reason why Prairieville is at a lower level than the other teams as well. Now, we have the starting lineup for Prairieville. We don't have a starting lineup for East Ascension because there may be some injury issues and some matchup issues that they wanted to take care of. So we'll give you the Prairieville starting lineup. In goal today, you can have number 1, Hadley Walker. You got the rest of the lineup: number 19, Deanna Mendez; numbers 13, Sydney Knockan; number 3, Layla Sonier. You have Chloe Muller, who will be either wearing number 5 or number 20. We'll figure that out soon. Number 7 is Callie Norman. Number 11, Adeline Landry. Number 8, Yellen Joya. Number 9, Sophia Collins. Number 8, Addie Knockan. And number 12, Hannah Lambert. And they have a lot of young players, a lot of freshmen. They have a really good goalkeeper, though, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Hadley Walker, coming from Dutchtown High and making a phenomenal stance and name for herself at Prairieville. You know, if you checked Facebook anytime recently, Prairieville Athletics posted that Hadley has had 7 shutout games, and that's kind of monument for this program because you have somebody like that in the goal for every game. She has experience and has played soccer for a long time, so that's such a key to victory for Prairieville today is keeping Hadley just in tune and making sure that her defense knows that she is back there for them.
We're going to get to the national anthem, I believe, in just a moment. As you can see, East Ascension lined up, and Prairieville still meeting with their coaches right now. Now, even though we don't have the starting lineups for East Ascension, they're led by a couple of seniors, and we know who the main star, I guess you could speak, of the team is. That's number 11, Leah Pransky. You got some other seniors like Audrey Galindo who are also really good players, but Leah Pransky is the one that you're going to look out for. We'll talk about that a little bit more, but first let's go to the PA announcer. So getting back to what we were discussing earlier, and Jolie, you can tell us a little bit more about this. Obviously, we can be looking for Leah Pransky and some of the other stars out there on the East Ascension side, but all the girls that I talked to on the Prairieville side, when I asked them, what are going to be your keys to victory, and even when I talked to Coach Goodall, he said, we got to watch out for number 11.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Leah, for the past few years has been somebody that EA has tremendously looked forward to, up at front. She is tall, she is fast, and she has literally put this team, in her heart, and she will run through a wall for them. I mean, I've seen her run through defenders and keep going, didn't even ask, if they were okay, and that's the Leah Pransky style. Now, with Leah, there's another one that I would like to mention, Taylor Carty. I mean, she is somebody that is going to be kind of searching for a goal today because she is trying to get to 30 goals. And Leah, too, with talking with Coach Mindy before the game, she is shooting for 100 goals, career goals. So she is right at, I think, 80 or something like that. So we're going to see a lot of them trying to get to Taylor and Leah today just to help them out with their goals because EA's program that has been building these last 4 years has been about friendship and being a team and being together, and so definitely look for Leah and Taylor to be working together to help each other reach their goals.
So Pransky, you see her at midfield right there, and she's going to handle the kick. She's going to be the tallest player on the pitch today, about 6 feet tall, and that's something that Prairieville was concerned about because they have a very small team. Like I said, there are a lot of freshmen, and it's out right there, and so we can see that Chloe Muller is going to be wearing number 20 today. So she will not be number 5, she'll be number 20, and it'll be a throw-in for East Ascension, and they're going to set up. You see Audrey Galindo, that's another one of those seniors that we were talking about. There are 3 really solid seniors on this team with Carty, Galindo, and Pransky, as you see the goalkeeper, Walker, with the shutouts, and still shut out 45 seconds in so
Absolutely.
far.
As we can see on this replay, number 9, Galindo just simply, let me try this out. It's the beginning. Let's test the goalkeeper. Really great chance on that one just to see, what Hadley is all about. And we're going to see a lot of action more in the midfield today because I see that EA is in a 3-5-2 formation. So you're going to see a lot of blue shirts in the middle trying to get up to their 2 forwards with Leah and Taylor making a run right here. EA is going right through Prairieville's defense, but number 3 for Prairieville, Layla Saunier, is just simple with it and contains the ball. So great job right there by sophomore Prairieville, Layla.
They've played pretty well on defense this season. I saw them earlier. As you see, a nice pass downfield on sides, over there on the left wings, but goes out of bounds. So
yeah, and if you're watching, guys, don't look at the blue on the field. You have to look for a little black line, which is very hard to see.
Yeah.
So it's not as much real estate as you would want as a soccer player, but definitely challenging for people to see the out of bounds.
Right. This is one of those fields that doesn't have a track.
Correct.
So you have to have a smaller field area. When you go to Dutchtown or Prairieville, you're going to have the much wider field space because of that. But that's just one. But at Santa Monica and East Ascension, you kind of have that smaller field.
Yeah, it's the color of where the football team stands, kind of that gets people's eyes going like, oh yeah, I have more room to run, but actually, no room at all.
So Prairieville trying to play defense right here. They've had those 7 shutouts on the season as Muller gets it across, but it's going to be taken away by Aiden Coates, number 12, and she's going to go left side, but Furrow cannot get to it, and it's going to be out of bounds. So throw in coming from Prairieville, Chloe Muller. They played really well. I saw them play right before New Year's. They played against Terrebonne High. They won that game 7-1. And they, even though they're young, they play together as a team, and they can pass the ball really well, and they have good timing. And, of course, their defense plays pretty well with all those shutouts as well. So they're a young team, but they don't play very young.
Yeah, it's something that, a lot of people was worried about Prairieville getting, the Cinema, the Dutch Town, and maybe some EA people. It's the sense of, these student athletes have played soccer, most of them their whole entire life. So just going to a new high school doesn't mean that they don't know the game. And that's something that we can kind of see with Prairieville right now, even though that they all haven't, been at the same school, for a full year yet. It's still the game of soccer. And that's something that is quite phenomenal that APSB did, create a new high school and create new experiences for people that probably, if they were at their old school, probably wouldn't even be playing varsity right now, so this is such a great thing for them.
So we're 4 minutes underway, still no score. Prairieville girls soccer versus East Ascension. Probably about 75% of the action on the Prairieville side, as East Ascension putting pressure, and you see a shot blocked by Muller.
Yeah, and definitely for Prairieville, just containing that center, because you're going to see Leah and the other forward for EA staying central. So if they can just make sure to contain them and keep them in front, maybe in front of the 18-yard box, this game's going to easily be a 0-0.
East Ascension's advantage, as you see them trying to get it through into the box, and you see a challenge right there, I believe, that is going to be taken away by the goalkeeper, McLean. I think that was Carty over on the right side. One thing that you can notice when you see these two teams, Prairieville is a smaller team. EA has a size and age advantage. There's a lot of seniors on this team. They're a bigger team. That's one of the things that Coach Goodall told me that he was concerned about at the beginning of the season. This team is small and fast, but they're not physical. And so with being younger, so they've worked really hard on not trying to get beat up by the bigger teams that he's going to play. And this is going to be one of those challenges that he has today.
Yeah, it's going to be anything when you have, a new program coming together. They got to find their identity, and that's something that I know Coach Chris Goodall is very good at from his years here at EA, but also just his love for the game and kids. As we can see, just kind of looking down, keys to victory for Prairieville is just to breathe. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't let big plays determine your worth in that sense. Like right here with this ball coming through to their defense, just breathe, contain it, keep it in front. For EA, their key to victory today is just a simple, use your strength and use your seniority, experience to kind of come away with the victory.
So you see Carty over there with the ball, centering it over to, I believe that was Galindo, and it's going to go wide, and so we're going to get a goal kick right here. But you've seen a lot of action on that right side, especially between number 19, Deanna Mendez, and Taylor Carty, as East Ascension is trying to work that right side. Maybe see an advantage right there, but right now working on the left, and pass is taken by Pransky, who's been pretty silent today so far, but we're still early on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Leah right now is just simply trying to figure out their defense and her next move. With playing with only two forwards, you're going to have to rely on your outside mids to kind of give you those opportunities of a simple quick pass or things like that. And here is number 12 for Prairieville, simple one, and
Lambert shot on goal.
But, hey, it's okay. That was great opportunity for Prairieville right there. Beautiful pass play. Went from the outside to the center, as we can see that extra shot right there from number 12, Hannah Lambert. And
that's Richardson with the save. So she does a good job and keeps this scoreless. And I think that's what you're going to see a lot, is a lot of that action over here on the Prairieville side of the field. But Prairieville is going to have some of those quick transitions, and they pass the ball really well. I noticed that against Terrebonne, and that was just a great pass down to Lambert. But the goalkeeper is going to be challenged sometimes, and she was up to it right there. Now, they've given up some goals this season, especially in the last couple of games. They gave up 4 in their last match against Live Oak, a game that they lost. They gave up 10 against E.D. White. So that's going to be one of the things that Prairieville may be able to take advantage of. They may be able to score some goals, and so East Ascension is just going to have to protect that goalie out there.
Yeah, it's just simple. I mean, have the courage to do something new today against EA. You know, them being a 5A school, bigger and a little tougher, you're going to have a chance to find your identity. That's what's going to be Prairieville's whole thing this year for all programs. And Hadley Walker right there, just simple at the near post, gets the pass through and kind of making it look easy right now, you know, until Leah, gets a little chance. Hadley right now is definitely showing off her 7 shutouts this year.
Yeah, and that attempt came from Lola Furrow, number 17. She's another one of those seniors. Like I said, there's about 4 or 5 senior leaders, and you can see them because they're much bigger in size than most of the Prairieville athletes. And so, like, if you see some of these big girls on the East Ascension side, they are the seniors, 8, 9, 11, and 17.
Yeah, and you can definitely tell from experience, the experienced players are shooting from 30, 40 yards out or, 20, and then your younger athletes are trying to dribble all the way into the goal because they don't want to miss. But as an experienced player, you're like, you know what, I missed a lot, so I'm just going to go for it. You know, it's kind of that confidence that sets in for you. And here's Prairieville right now challenging EA's defense, and Prairieville is actually going to get their first corner of the game right here because of the as this replay goes off of an EA defender before a shot is tried.
Right, I believe that attempt was from Sophia Collins, number 9, and so you see the corner kick coming for Prairieville, and so they're going to set up their offense and goes in and goes through.
And EA is just going to let it roll. Great decision to try to get some more numbers up and kind of out of that corner kick situation. And I do have to say that was kind of a rough corner because of the fact the girls were looking straight into the sun when the ball was in the air. So great job by EA by just simple man marking right there to where no header or anything came from it. And here's Leah right here trying to find Taylor, and Hadley Walker is easily to that ball.
Right. You see they're dropping 4 down in coverage to defend the goal along with Walker. And you see that's what I was talking about right there. We have the whistle and some contact, and that was number 11, Landry, for Prairieville, and I believe that was Savannah Baker, sophomore, that came over her back.
Yeah, and I loved at the end of it, Landry just kind of looked at the EA player that, went over her, and she was like, come on now. And I love that because of the fact that all of these players kind of know each other from some form or another, playing against each other in sports, or maybe even, going to school together, that kind of thing. So it's all love. Every time I've always said you played an AP team, it's like you know somebody from some walks of life on all of them.
Now, most of the people who are not freshmen on the Prairieville side come from Dutchtown. There's a few from Santa Maria, but with Prairieville, all 3 of the east side schools are districted to the new Prairieville district. So there are some EA students that go to Prairieville that were previously at East Ascension and were redistricted to Prairieville. There are not a lot of them on the team itself. Like I said, a lot of the players are Dutchtown and Santa Maria players, but they know each other for sure.
Absolutely. They've been playing each other at either JV or, last year had to go up against each other, which is so unique in the sense of what these student athletes are experiencing, more playing time, more opportunities in that sense.
So you saw them try to get it down to Hannah Lambert, and there's the pass, throw in inside to Collins, trying to get it down to Lambert, trying to lead her, but it's knocked away by number 3, Madeline Amy, for East Ascension. We are 13 minutes in. Still no score, East Ascension and Prairieville. Another throw-in coming from Sophia Collins.
Beautiful throw. Way to get into the box and give your teammates an opportunity.
Finds her player, but good defense right there. Got it in to Knockan. But about 3.
Former Santa Maria.
Yep. I know you know those.
Yep.
You of course, were with Santa Maria as the coach for many years, so you probably at least coached maybe a couple of these players, or at worst know them a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really cool to see them experience this because of the fact that when I coached them, they were only, freshmen. So to see them in kind of the showtime of this, it's pretty awesome. And to see that, they're leaders on a team is a tremendous honor. And, EA, too, had to coach against them with the Leah and Taylor and the Galindos. So it's pretty cool to see and experience their senior year without actually being a part of soccer. So pretty cool. But as we can see, with a good bit of the first kind of coming away from both teams, it's very neck and neck right now. There's not a single part that we can say one team is totally dominating. It's going back and forth. Prairieville is getting a lot more comfortable with getting to EA's back line that's holding strong with 4. EA right now, just simple, breathe, find Leah or Taylor up top, and then start something with it.
I believe that shot came from Sonia, and it was saved by Richardson. That actually may have been knock-in, I believe.
On
the left side, number 2.
Definitely a left footer over there.
Yeah. So Prairieville, even though a lot of the action has been taking place down on this side of the field, they've had a couple of shots. As now you see the trio setting up, trying to get it inside to Cardi.
And Galindo just shooting just to have an opportunity for a team, which that's where we're going to see a lot of from the 3 at the top because they want this win home, first time playing Prairieville like this. And so definitely going to see some shots from out wide from East Ascension.
Got a sub checking in for East Ascension. Actually, they've had 2 substitutions at that whistle. No subs yet, I believe, for the Hurricanes, as they're going to make a run right here with 3 on 5, trying to get it center to Lambert. She's met by number 6, Smith. Now trying to go right, handled by East Ascension. Trying to get it out of trouble, and it's blocked. So that'll be a throw-in for the Spartans. That'll be handled by number 5, Sophia Foray.
And it's a simple, just kind of the system that they're playing with that 3-5-1. You're going to see more blue shirts kind of on defense when there's, kind of a long pass like how Adinakan just did. They're going to have to try to figure out how to get more Prairieville up to give that extra, I guess you would say, next level attention. But yet again, Prairieville has another throw in. Let's hope that they can kind of connect on this one and get maybe 1 or 2 passes to get inside the goal.
So now you see Lambert on the left side, cross nowhere.
Cross.
Yes, but
Great.
did not have anybody there to meet it. And so it'll go out, and that'll be a throw in for East Ascension. You can tell that this team's well coached. Of course, we all like Coach Goodall because he's also a former REV sports broadcaster, and so he's somebody that we know a lot about and somebody we've dealt with for years. And one of the things that he wanted me to say and to talk about was that it's been hard to put together a program, but he's also been happy because he's got a lot of good assistants that are helping him out, and he wanted to make sure that they get recognized too. So I want to make sure that gets mentioned. He'll be happy to know that if I did that. But he basically wanted to talk about his assistant coaches, especially Tristan Cunningham, who is obviously in her first year as well. But she's done a good job, and she's kind of, I guess, the brains behind the team. If you want to talk about it, if you ever met Chris Goodall, you understand why we would say she's the brains behind the team.
Yeah, absolutely. And another one that I got to go hug earlier before this game is Jason Nakan. He was actually my head coach at Sandoval And so to see him coaching is pretty phenomenal. To see, somebody that inspired you to become a coach is now a coach again is pretty cool. And the fact that I think it's very cool that he gets to coach both of his daughters, and Addie and Sid Nakan, which Sid is kind of the key aspect that just got hit by the ball for Prairieville's defense. So I think that's really cool for him. And to know that both Addie and Sid was born my senior year, and now I'm seeing them play is pretty great, kind of full circle moment.
Right. The first attempt was by Galindo. Then you had a shot on the rebound, but again, Hadley Walker there to save it. So we remain scoreless. We're about halfway through. But some pressure coming from the Lady Spartans as they're going to go right. And nope. Ball taken easily by Walker. So she'll handle things from here, as you see on the replay. Just a little wide, easy grab by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, just something, they've been playing for almost 20 minutes now. Kind of just looks the same. I wish both teams would just kind of settle down. We saw EA at the beginning having a lot better opportunities with finding each other's feet and then making Prairieville have to work for it. Now Prairieville is just kind of on the, hey, we're here kind of notion and trying anything. So really cool that both of them right now within 20 minutes are still 0-0. It's anybody's game.
So we remain scoreless, and this has been a good this is a good measuring stick for both teams, because I think kind of both teams aren't really sure what they have, as we're still a month away from the postseason. But East Ascension started out red hot, and they won a lot of games, and they drew a lot of attention. But then since then they've lost a couple of games. They've lost, I believe, two of their last three, actually 4 of their last 5, and so they've kind of come back down to earth, and you're still not sure where they're going to fit in district, and so this is going to be a good measuring stick for them. And as far as Prairieville goes, they've won a lot of games. They've played a little bit of an easier schedule because they kind of had to ease their way in and build their confidence. This is going to be one of the harder matches this season because they play in an easier district playing in Division II. So this is a good test for them to see if they can see where they stand against one of the big teams in 5A.
Yeah, I mean, it's I always giggle. Great shot opportunity.
And it's in.
Galindo.
Look
Very
at that.
Nice.
East Ascension takes the lead.
Absolutely beautiful. As we can see on this replay, simple through. She just sees the ball and just beautifully done. I mean, we've seen 2 other tries that she had earlier, almost that exact same spot. That's why it's something that experience definitely helps out in situations like this, because of just being able to. And Hadley Walker right there, there's nothing that you could do. That's
Absolutely
upper 90. That is just a great shot by a great player.
And she bent that right into the corner.
Yes, that is years of experience and years of just trial and error, knowing where you're at on the field and just positioning your body and your hips to look straight at the goal.
I initially thought that was going to be wide, but here comes Prairieville as there's an attempt, and it's off the crossbar.
And Prairieville is still knocking at the door right there. That was a great opportunity for Prairieville's forward right there, number 9, Sophia Collins. She is going to be somebody that Prairieville is going to be looking forward to seeing in these next 3 years because of the fact that 2 years, because she is a sophomore, so junior and senior year we'll probably be saying her name a lot more for goals. So
it goes out as Collins loses it on the left side. And it goes all the way through. There's a little hole in the gate out there, as you can see. And, of course, it's going to go through the hole in the gate. So I think we're going to add a little bit of time to stoppage time here to take care of that as the throw-in comes. Trying to get it inside, and it's blocked.
Nobody there, yep.
Good job by East Ascension, and they'll just clear it and let Prairieville have the throw-in about 20 yards back.
And something that I've always said about, when you're reading the newspaper and seeing, a sports team loss or anything else, it never describes how the game is, you know. And so, like, right now, when you're looking at Prairieville's records, you know, their 3 losses came to Division I teams. You know, when they lost to Denham Springs 5-0, and then they lost to Hahnville 4-0, but Woodlawn, they lost to them 2-1. They're there. It's not getting shut out. And the same thing with EA. Their losses came to people that are actually top 10 in their division.
Yeah.
Byrd is number 6 in Division I, things like that, and St. Joe's number 1. I mean, it's EA is there for, you know, the long run this year. I know one of their goals is to make it to the second round of playoffs because of the previous 2 years just getting to the first round. So they're on track right now with how they are containing spaces and every little thing. And Prairieville, right now, as going down 1-0, you can kind of see that they're more on the verge of just going crazy right now.
Yeah.
They want to get this ball out and things like that, and they're going to try anything against Leah. But as we can see, her stature is pretty big, and she is going to use everything she has. And great job right there by Hadley by just kind of containing that goal and staying in front of it and just getting that shot down on the ground.
Yeah. Disappointing for Prairieville to give up an early goal here and trail 1-0, but you have a 3-on-3 over here on the left side. Knockhand trying to take a shot, blocked by Richardson. When I talked to Coach Goodall, he expects this team to be good. Obviously, he knows that he's going to have a solid team. They may be a little bit ahead of schedule. He's never talked negative about his team. He's had, I think, one disappointment so far this season. It was that loss to Woodlawn. But that was the first game of the season. They had literally never played together, and he told me they had 2 PKs that they just flat out missed.
Yep.
And so that could have easily been a victory. And so, like, I know he's disappointed that he kind of left that one kind of hanging like that.
Yeah, and
but other than that,
stayed at Woodlawn. Yeah.
But he kind of he's happy about what they've done since then, and they've rebounded very nicely, as you see the steal from East Ascension. And now trying to expand on the 1-0 lead as they get it through over to Cardi, who's in center now.
And EA now, you can see we have this 1-0, so we can pass. We can do whatever we want right here. But Hadley, yet again, stays strong right there in the goal and just plays it down to the ground to where she can get it.
And Galindo, she's a good striker right there. She's got a lot of heat on her attempts for sure.
Absolutely,
as they get it through.
never count. And then here's Addie Knockhand, simple speed right here. If she can just get back to the ball.
Little push from behind, but we play on, and she's going to lose it.
It's going to actually be a Prairieville throw-in because smart Addie Knockhand plays it off of EA's defender. And we have some new subs, which is great opportunity for both teams to kind of get their fresh legs in to opposing teams, kind of, you know, not struggling, but, you know, a little weaker because of how cold it is outside. That cold air getting into the girls' lungs kind of makes it for it to be mentally tough to keep going.
Yeah. So now we're going to get another throw-in that's going to come over on the left side, but it's stolen. And now here comes a run for East Ascension as it's going to be taken care of at midfield.
Watch the bounce right here, EA. There we go. Nice job right there by East Ascension's goalkeeper, Richardson. And then EA, that's packed in the middle. They're definitely going to find feet here and try to just contain kind of different team from last year because of how their passing game is, you know, being developed. And then hopefully in the next few years they, you know, have this because this is going to get them in big games having each other to pass to.
It's going to get all the way through back to Walker. So we are 27 minutes in. East Ascension on a goal. Beautifully placed goal by Galindo. They lead 1-0. You see number 24 right there, Claire Delaney. She's another senior. taken care of by Galindo. But now here comes Joya on the Prairieville side. Nice move. Going right. And that's going to be wide from
definitely didn't
Hannah
turn
Lambert.
hips. Lambert, if you could just turn your hips, you're going to have the goal right there and sneak into the near post. But beautifully done by Prairieville, just kind of containing, keeping pace, seeing this through to Lambert and kind of kick the near post right there.
Like I said, Prairieville, I said this earlier, Prairieville has not beaten any of the teams in any of the head-to-head team sports this season: football, volleyball, basketball, soccer. The boys lost to Dutchtown earlier this week. You saw that on the game of the week. And I talked to Chris about it. I said, can you do it? He said, well, I don't know. But he said, I wanted to clear up one thing. We beat some of the local teams in cross-country. He's a cross-country coach. So he placed higher in cross-country, but that was not a head-to-head kind of situation. He said, well, we finished 7th and EA finished 12th, so we did finish ahead of them. But this Prairieville High School is still looking for a first victory in any sport against any of these teams here on the east side in 5-5A. Although this is not a 5-5A matchup. We talked about that a little bit earlier.
Just to say that you own AP almost, in that sense. So right now, Prairieville's also just trying to find their mark in Ascension Parish. What can we brag about in this next year?
Yeah.
And that's something I know Chris Goodall is overly excited to experience with their team, to kind of give them that motivation and that push throughout the rest of the season.
And East Ascension is looking very well. They're on that little cold streak right now, but you're going to get that with a new coach occasionally. As you see a nice pass right there, and now it's going to go through and in.
That is
and they take a 2-0 lead.
Full setup.
Is that Carty?
That was Taylor Carty, and beautifully done, as we can see on this replay. 1, 2, 3 wall pass. Great pass from Leah Pransky to kind of set up Taylor in that beautiful run past the Prairieville defense straight to goal. And for Hadley Walker, there is nothing that you can truly do right there besides just kind of come out of goal and stand.
Right.
Because it's all up to the forward, left or right.
Try to reduce her angle.
Yep, that's
right
about it. Yep.
So Prairieville in a hole now. And Coach Olivier, we haven't talked about her very much. I've never spoken with her, but you've talked to her a few times, and she's doing a good job. She got this team off to the fast start, and they're off to a fast start here today. But one of the good things for her is that she inherited a lot of seniors, and so a lot of really talented seniors. They may not have the depth, but the seniors that they have are really, really solid. Coach Jen Franklin, of course, kind of built this program up, and it kept on improving until she left. She's moved on to administrative duties, I guess you could say. So she had to give up her coaching, and so now Coach Olivier has taken over the program, and so far so good, and especially today she's doing a great job.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a blessing in disguise when you have somebody that came before you, like Chris Goodall, and then, Jen Franklin, that EA has a tradition in everything.
Yeah.
And that's something that is very proudful and respect and things like that. So for, Coach Mindy to come here, she has taken on, student athletes that want to win,
right?
The drive, and will do anything and will challenge themselves. And a great job right there by Walker in goalkeep for Prairieville, simply getting off her line and stopping anything that comes in, within that 6-yard box, and that's going to give EA their first corner of the game.
And they get it inside, down low, and it's a good save, but it's still active. And another good job by Prairieville. 2 defenders able to clear it, but they're not completely out of danger. Now, that original shot that led to the corner was from Leah Pransky. She's been a little silent today, but they haven't needed her so much yet, but she had an attempt right there. And now you get Furrow trying to get it in, and Hadley makes the save.
nice job by Prairieville with being so young in the back line, staying their ground and keeping, a presence. As we can see, they are giving EA a run for their money inside the box. EA is having to work against that back line, and EA right now just simple playing around Prairieville with simple passes through.
And now you see Lambert, who's trying to get it through. Can Joya get there? No, she cannot. Actually, that was Collins. And now setting up Muller on the left side, trying that left side now, a little switch. As we are 33 minutes in, 2-0 East Ascension. Goals today for the Lady Spartans coming from Audrey Galindo and Taylor Carty. EA continuing to put the pressure on, but now here comes an opportunity for Lambert on the right side, but good defense right there by number 6, Sydney Smith. And it'll be a throw-in, I believe, for the Lady Hurricanes.
And just looking out right now at Prairieville's defensive line with Mendez, Nakan, Saunier, and Norman, that's 2 Santa Maria kids, an EA, and a Dutchtown.
Yeah.
For what they're already doing this this season together, they're forming new traditions and new pride for their school, and it's pretty phenomenal that already, they not only giving it to Hadley Walker for those 7 shutouts, they had to go through defense too, and that's something, I know Hadley is very fortunate for her defensive back line for giving her that opportunity to have 7 shutouts. Not taken away from Hadley by any means, because she is a phenomenal goalkeeper, but having a great back line that also has, your support, it helps out a lot.
Right. Had a whistle and a handball called on Joya. And that's another thing that we haven't talked about that Coach Goodall's had to do is kind of unite a lot of people that used to be rivals and enemies. And so, one of the things that he's big on is building culture and trying to get these girls to be a team and to be a family. And so I worked down the hall with him as I'm a teacher at Prairieville as well. And I've seen his girls because his soccer PE classes during my planning time, so I've gotten to know some of the girls, and they're always around each other. They're always hanging out. They're always laughing. They're always having fun. They're also always running.
Yes.
Because that's one of the things that he does as a cross-country and a soccer coach.
Yeah.
But they do everything together, and it's pretty neat to see. So we're down to the final 4 minutes.
Just a reminder that clock will stop at 2 because the center AR is the official timekeeper, not us. And he might have added a few seconds on the clock, like when that ball went through the hole over there or anything. But I'm very proud of both of these teams right now because there hasn't been fouls.
Right.
Or anything kind of crazy in that sense. And please tell me I didn't jinx it. But it's in girls soccer. A good, clean game is something that they can both look at as a win,
right.
Even though it might not be a loss. But through that, Addie Nakan right here taking control. I know her. She wants to score against EA, so be looking for her in the second half, just kind of going all out.
Well, EA is her natural rival, right?
Yes.
Back in the day.
Absolutely.
So I guess the Santa Maria girls probably really want this a little bit more. The former Santa Maria girls, I guess we should say.
Yeah, but I think it's also because of the fact of Chris Goodall, their uncle, so say, and godparent used to coach at EA. So it's we got to put it in his face, even though he's our coach now at Prairieville. You still, I know Coach Goodall still has that love for EA.
Yeah. So you see right there, Adeline Landry getting it down over to Collins. Still have a couple of minutes left to slice the lead in half. But if East Ascension can get a third goal here before halftime, that would be just crucial for them. That would put Prairieville in a really tough hole to get out of.
Yeah, I definitely see Prairieville after half kind of going more of a offensive mindset.
Yeah.
Just because it's playing the, what left to lose.
Right.
We got to score, we got to do this. And, to quote Goodall at the beginning of the game, went talked to him, hugged him, that kind of stuff. His key to victory was score more goals than EA. So I know already that halftime speech will just be more of contain it, get it together, have each other and go score goals.
Yeah, he's a very dry person if you've never met him. He's British, so he's got that dry British humor. And so when you ask him, and that is literally, anytime you ask him anything, he's going to say something like that.
Yep.
And so you ask him, hey, Coach, what do you need to do to win? Well, we need to score more goals.
Yep.
He's not going to give you a strategy. He's not going to tell you his philosophy. He's going to say, we're going to score more goals, and we're going to win.
That's about it.
Yep. So we're at the 2-minute mark, and again, Jolie explained it. You see the clock still running down, but that's not going to be the official time. In the stadium, the clock stops at 2 minutes on the scoreboard, but in reality, like Jolie said, there's going to be some stoppage time, so the official clock is being held on the field. They have numbers right there, 4-on-3, but a good block.
Great job right there by number 9 for East Ascension. Audrey Galindo now playing a little bit of a defensive stance because you want that senior presence in the back when you're already, winning 2-0. Keep everything in front, and maybe even some long balls will be happening in the second half.
So you see Joya getting it down there. Nobody home. Bounces out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in. So we probably got about a minute or so of action left. Not a lot of stoppage time besides that one ball that slipped through. There haven't been any injuries. It's been a very clean first half. Like you said, one whistle for one stoppage, one EA girl went over the back of Prairieville play, but that was it. Had one handball. But the officials have basically just swallowed the whistles here today. I always like to see that. Don't like to see the officials getting too involved in the game.
Yeah, as the ball is played on the other side, we have a kind of injured Prairieville Hurricane, Addie Knockan, just kind of taking it easy on the other side as her defense is kind of getting challenged right now on this throw-in, and Prairieville wins it, and here we go. First half is done.
So that's going to conclude our first half, and EA did a really good job. Their senior leadership really showed in that first half as you get an early goal by Audrey Galindo about halfway through the first half, and then a few minutes later, Taylor Carty responds with a second goal. And so it's halftime, and East Ascension leads Prairieville by a score of 2-0. We're going to take a break, and we're going to talk about these two teams. We're going to talk about district. We're going to talk about some upcoming game of the week schedules that we have. And so stay tuned. We'll tell you a lot of things at half. You're watching the REV Game of the Week.
Here in Louisiana, our culture is the drumbeat of our lives. It's in everything we do. Sport, play, and staying connected. And REV is here to help you keep up with it all with Buku Speed. Internet speed that keeps going, connecting people across 10 parishes with homegrown support and service right in your backyard. Welcome to the next level in speed and reliability. Make the switch to REV. Visit us at letsrev.com.
Chris's Specialty Foods has you covered for tailgating this season. We do all the prep work so you can spend time enjoying your family and friends. Steaks, burgers, sausage, chicken, wild game, and many other great pork options. Our central location is now open on Wax Road behind the Walmart. And the new Highland location serves hot lunches and has a meeting space for your work team. New Orleans and Millerville are rocking as well. It's fast, affordable, and delicious. It's Chris's Specialty Foods.
Everybody loves Chris's.
We're REV Business, a local provider with nearly 90 years of experience. So when it comes to business in Louisiana, we know that personalized service is key. And we're here to go the extra mile with all fiber solutions that deliver what every business needs: reliability and quality. We're not just providers. We're the local team dedicated to helping you succeed. True partnerships are homegrown. REV Business, internet, phone, managed services. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
We're at halftime. Jeff Porsche and Jolie Hartman with you at Spartan Stadium. East Ascension leads Prairieville by a score of 2-0. You get goals in the first half by Carty and Galindo. And Jolie, I think the major difference is that size and experience and senior leadership. East Ascension has really done a good job today.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, both of them, Carty and Galindo, are two people that we have said on REV the past few years, their name, and you know, what we are going to see in the next 2-3 years with them. And now that, you know, both of them seniors, you can definitely tell that experience is one notch above the Prairieville defense. And, you know, as you look at Prairieville's defense, the oldest one out there is a junior, you know, and on a new team and things like that. So that's something that that is key right now to that 2-0 league for EA.
So East Ascension, if they can win today, they're going to improve their record to 11-5. They're 1-1 in district, and they play it in the way they call what they call it in soccer is Division I District 5. So we call it 5-5A in other areas, but we call it Division I District 5 in soccer. And you see Santamon, they got a new coach last year, and so they kind of had the little transition year, and now they're rolling a little bit, and they've won a game in district. Denham, they are going to be really good this season. Live Oak has improved. Dutchtown's record, they lost Coach Moss. He's now helping out the Prairieville boys, and their record is partly indicative of who they played as well. East Ascension has lost that game to Live Oak in district, and then you got Walker at the bottom. But the top three teams are really good. Dutchtown, that record is misleading, and East Ascension's not bad either.
Absolutely. I mean, it's like what I always said. You read a report in the newspaper, and it doesn't give straight details of a game. You know, it didn't take a team until, 50 minutes to score and things like that. And Dutchtown, when you look at their record, they are playing the top 10 in Division I every single week.
Yeah.
They're losing to them by like 2 or 1 or 3 and things like that. So please don't look at a record in that sense. Just know that this division and district has always been so powerful, bringing 4 to playoffs every single year.
So you're going to see some of these teams in the upcoming weeks on the REV Game of the Week. So we'll give you that schedule in a little while. As far as Prairieville goes, they kind of have a little bit of a break, I guess you would say, because they play in Division II because of their enrollment and because of the way that you categorize soccer with no split and all that, like we talked about. Livonia is kind of the team to beat up there, but Prairieville is right up there with them. And so those two teams are really good. Coach Goodall said West Feliciana is a solid team. They're 6-6. Liberty and Tara, they're not that competitive in girls soccer. They've already beaten Liberty 8-0. So, and Tara is just kind of has a program, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's
and
something,
that's about it.
Those two teams give an opportunity for kids to play. Sometimes it might not be enough, but it's still giving, student athletes opportunity to be a part of something at their high school. Tara and Liberty are just two areas of Louisiana that soccer is not huge or big, like how we've seen soccer extend in Ascension Parish.
Yeah, it's oftentimes a suburban and a private school kind of thing.
Yep.
And so the resources aren't there and the players aren't really there, and that's kind of why some of the schools in EBR don't necessarily have much as far as competition goes. So that's one of the reasons why Prairieville dropped down, because of the enrollment, because of the lack of teams in that Baton Rouge area. Now, as far as the Lady Hurricanes go, they played those 2 games in district, and they are undefeated. Like I said, they beat Liberty 8-0, and that one was pretty easy. West Feliciana, they're all right. They're a 500 team, but Prairieville beat them, and then you have Tara. That should be a victory for them. And so basically that game on the 18th, Prairieville and Livonia will be for a district title.
Yes, and I know the coach over at Livonia, and I know Coach Jeremy has definitely put his team on a map these last few years, cultivating a tradition and culture and things like that. So I'm kind of looking forward to that game on the 18th.
So East Ascension, they haven't competed for a district title in some years, but they're going to be a playoff team, and they're going to be kind of a middle of the pack. But compared to what the district Prairieville plays in, it's so much harder because of Dutchtown, because of Santa Ma, because of Denham Springs. And they had the easy win against Walker. Walker's pretty much the easiest team to beat in district.
Yep.
Live Oak is kind of in that middle area, kind of like East Ascension. That's kind of a 50-50 game, and they're going to have to steal one of these last three, probably, I guess you could say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with facing Denham next on the 14th, Denham right now is sitting very high up in the power rankings, which they're number 9 in Division I, and they're somebody that in the last 4 years has snuck up on everybody, because Denham wasn't a few years ago, and now they are. And then Dutchtown and Santa Ma to end it off. And that's something, having EA and Santa Ma last on your schedule is what you build up to, what you look forward to, what you highlight at the beginning of the year. So EA does definitely have a test coming for them. But, I mean, just looking at them today, just kind of pick up a few little pieces, they will have a great rest of their district season.
We'll talk about some more things if we have an opportunity at the end of halftime, but we're going to take a break right here and get ready for the second half. Again, our score, East Ascension 2, Prairieville nothing. You're watching the REV Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of our Spartans Sports Medicine Program: Precision Pools and Outdoors, Parish Engineering, Black Bayou Lending, OxyChem, the RV Shop, Innovative Orthotics and Prosthetics of Louisiana.
We're back. It's 2-0. Jeff Porsche and Jolie Hartman, and we're going to continue talking about the two teams and their district. We just discussed that, and Jolie, you were leading into the power rankings, and we can look at the power rankings right now because we're still a month away from the postseason, but it's going to get here very quickly. On the right is the girls' side, and you see in Division II, Prairieville's in the top 10. They have a shot at getting a top 8 seed, which would mean that you would get a couple of home games, and so that would be really important for them. East Ascension, they're kind of on that borderline where if you can get to 16, you can host a first-round playoff game, and Santa Ma is comfortably in that spot. Dutchtown's going to be a playoff team most likely, and so that's kind of what you have right now.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at this, the AP Proud, 11, 19, 25, with still a month to go. They have so many opportunities to all host the game or, being able to get into the first round of playoffs, because there were a few years that one of us wasn't in the playoffs or things like that. So pretty great, and also for Prairieville in Division II to already make a stance in that division is pretty awesome to see.
What stands out to me on the boys' side is look who's on top of the district right now. East Ascension, they've always been a kind of sleeping giant type of program. If they can get it together, they got it together now. And so far they are 8. And usually you see Santa Ma and Dutchtown, they're like neck and neck. They're like 7 and 8 every year, and then the EA's kind of low. But now look, Santa Ma is ahead of Dutchtown, and Dutchtown has been kind of the leader the last 3 years or so, but Santa Ma's been very, very close, and now East Ascension's kind of leapfrogged them. Now, as far as D2, Prairieville's in the top 10, so but they have a pretty good coach, right?
Yeah, they're pretty. I don't even know if I would say pretty. He's pretty great. I mean, I guess. I mean,
yeah. I know you're a big fan.
I know I'm a big fan. But to see EA. I'm going to continue to say this, just phenomenal job by Coach Pedro Galindo, the EA's boy coach, that kind of took it over and went through and kind of evaluated their strengths and weaknesses and built upon their weaknesses to get them where they are today. I mean, I got to do REV game at Santa Ma when they had to play Santa Ma EA boys, and it was night and day from the past few years. You saw that respect that they had for each other in the game and things like that. So phenomenal job by Coach Pedro Galindo for the EA boys side.
We're ready to start the second half, and Prairieville will have possession. They're now going to work from right to left, and so they set up. They got a little work to do, but EA is going to continue to put the pressure on. I know they would like to get a third goal early because that could change the whole philosophy of this match.
Yeah, definitely put the game away for EA, but also to give more of that confidence to start trying new things. Not necessarily taking shots from 30 and 40, but trying to do a 1-2, in the middle. And opportunity right here for Prairieville, number 9.
That was Collins
right there,
again.
Collins, she is somebody that is going to be a threat for Prairieville the rest of the season this year, to get into top 4 in the playoffs, because hate to say it, top 4 is a pretty great spot because of the fact that people have to travel to you.
Right. You could host all the way to Hammond. And we've seen some teams get to Hammond here in Ascension Parish. This has been, I wouldn't say there's no, especially because you just diluted the talent with an extra school. It may not happen this year. Dutchtown has made a run, and Santa Ma's boys have come really, really close the last few years as well. But the Dutchtown boys and girls have gotten there, but we'll have to see how far one of these teams could get. I think Prairieville, even though they don't have necessarily the best team as a whole, might have the best chance because of that D2 designation.
Yeah, definitely. But you got some big dogs in D2 that I would also be a little scared
STM?
scared to face because of their long longevity in Division 2 and being such a powerhouse. But, this shot right here by the Spartans just to make sure Hadley Walker is awake, hey, we're still coming for you, and great job by Hadley for just simple staying and promoting such a great defensive stance.
Yeah.
Definitely a great crowd here today for Saturday, too, for girls soccer. Lots of blankets, lots of hats.
It's not as cold as I thought it was going to be. It was cold last night. I went to the Prairieville Ascension Catholic basketball game, and when I got out of that place at 9 o'clock, it was cold.
Yes.
And it was cold this morning, but now maybe it's just because the sun is out.
Yes, and still a little wind coming through, but more going towards Burnside. So if you're looking right now at the goal where Prairieville is defending, you're feeling the wind in your face.
So you're going to get a throw in and a threat coming right here. Madison Abear going to try to get it in. Trying to get it to Carty. Defended very well.
Definitely see a lot more white shirts playing defense right now.
Yeah, they cannot give up that third goal.
No, absolutely not.
You know this more than I would, and I've kind of heard it just through stories. But whoever scores the next goal is going to be in a great position because either Prairieville is going to cut the lead in half, or East Ascension may put it out of reach.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always said this: 2-0 score is actually the worst thing in soccer because of the fact that you scored, you won, then that second came. That's the same thing that the other team can do.
Yeah.
Also, just the sense of you feel already that you have the game, and as we can say, Prairieville is still knocking on the door, still giving their forwards the opportunity to do something like right here.
Lambert's got a chance,
and
it's through, and it's a goal.
See, give yourself a chance, and that's what Prairieville has been doing this whole entire game. Simple, as we can see, love this celebration. They are here for each other in that, and I don't even think Lambert really realized what she just did, so great job right there. As we can see, simply plays the ball and then finds the right side of the goal from her side, and beautifully done. Just be patient and wait and let something build up, and then here we go. Told you where soccer scores 2-0. Right. Prairieville has found that one to keep them alive.
So I guess you would say, based on what you were talking about, once you get that 2-0 lead, you really don't have a reason to be aggressive. And so you
Correct.
drop back on defense, and then you get caught sleeping like you just did.
Yep, it's I don't know, it's a mental thing. It's
Yeah.
we're winning 2-0. I don't have to run as hard. I don't care about the ball going out. We're winning anyway. Want to waste time. And that other team is thinking, in their heart, if I just get one. And so that's kind of the mentality. As soccer coaches, I've always told, my players, if it's 2-0, it's like you're losing 50-0. Like, don't make it be like that. And that's going to be a foul on Cardi of East Ascension. It's going to be Prairieville's ball.
So you can see on the replay right there a little challenge. And
I think it was just a fuss,
yeah.
little
No, it's nothing.
love tap.
Nothing malicious. That was Deanna Mendez, who was the victim on that whistle. And now can Prairieville get it through, or can East Ascension get that 2-goal lead back? It goes all the way back to Richardson. So you're going to have to be getting your voice ready to go, because you were talking about we all just got back into teaching this week, so we're all losing our voices again. You got 2 more games in the next week coming up on our Rev Game of the Week.
Absolutely.
So, like, you and I are going to work together again on Tuesday. We're going to get girls soccer again. We're going to get Prairieville again. And that's going to be against Santa Maria. So, like, we're going to have a little side bet, I think, in that one. But then on Thursday, you and Jimmy Frederick are going to have Dutchtown and East Ascension in the girls soccer match, which is going to be a district game. So that's going to be a big game for the EA girls, because, like I said, they got the 3 big dogs left in district. So they gotta sneak one of those, and if they can do that, maybe they can start flirting with playing a home game.
Yeah, it's going to be something for this next 2 weeks for both soccer, boys and girls, because it's kind of coming down to the wire of who's going to claim district, but also who's going to be the one that kind of messes things up. I always love to say that about a team, because EA is that team this year to kind of solidify. If they beat Dutchtown, then Dutchtown's for the first time in years not winning district.
Yeah.
So that can be a huge win for EA with beating Dutchtown. In I almost want to say 10 years, maybe 9 or something like that. So that will be great for, first time coach at EA, Coach Mindy, and her program.
Yeah. Well, maybe I can ask you a personal question. And maybe you can choose to answer it or not. As somebody as a Santa Maria coach, former Santa Maria coach, and still Santa Maria faculty, if Santa Maria doesn't win district in girls or boys, would you rather one of the AP teams win it, or would you rather Denham Springs win it?
AP.
Okay, I thought so.
AP proud. That's what
Definitely.
we've always said. We always want to keep the trophy, which there is no trophy in soccer. Just saying. You got to keep the trophy on this side of the parish.
Yeah.
We cannot let it go to LP for a few reasons, because then that means we have to travel to them for the district meeting.
Oh, okay.
So
well,
we
that
always
makes
want to
sense.
be like maybe a 10-minute drive compared to a 40-minute drive or something,
Yeah, I don't like going down Highway 16.
Me neither. It's boring now.
Yeah, it gets through, and it's going to be a goal kick, I believe.
Yeah, that was a shot from Leah. I mean, I'm really intrigued at how Leah isn't becoming something in this game. I really wondering, if she is continuing to just try to help out Cardi get that goal, or things like that. She's chasing 100, so I really feel that Leah needs to come in these next 30 minutes and just go run straight through Prairieville's back line.
I haven't noticed if they're marking her a lot or anything like that, but when I talked to Coach and when I talked to some of the girls, they all said the first thing that came out their mouth, we got to stop number 11.
Yeah.
Number 11 is going to make a difference in this game.
Absolutely.
And so they probably have basically set up their strategy to make sure that they neutralize 11, but then 8 and 9 are going to get opportunities to run free, and that's what they've done so far. They got the goal so far.
Yeah, and that's just a testament to for how young Prairieville is already, what they're doing to Leah. Today, I see a lot of Sydney Nakan on Leah Pransky, which she is a player that you would want 11 people on the field of. She's very unselfish. She is all about a team, and you can kind of see her I'm going to say it like this, antagonizing Leah with applying pressure and making sure she doesn't turn with the ball. And so this is going to be a free kick right here for EA, and this is Galindo with her left.
About 35 out, up, and off the corner. I don't know if that hit the crossbar or the side, sidebar,
pretty sure
or
both.
post, or what. I think it hit everything but the goalpost, the football goalpost. Now that hit the crossbar.
Yep.
All right, there you go.
As you can see, beautiful setup right at the 20 for Galindo. And one of the greatest things that for Galindo is the fact that she scored on the opposite side, probably, 10 more yards closer, and then she still has that length to go.
That's going to be key to East Ascension's season, because I got a feeling that a lot of people are going to be worried about Pransky, and a lot of people are going to basically set up their defensive positioning to make sure that Pransky doesn't blow things up. But if you can get Galindo or Carty to do something and be solid goal scorers, then and you got somebody who can still make a difference, then that's going to be a big deal, and that could determine your postseason.
Yeah, this replay that you just watched is just Prairieville had to have 2 goal kicks because it hit off of EA twice. But then EA on this second try hit off of a Prairieville's foot. So now this is EA's second corner of the game coming up.
I think Galindo is going to handle the – yes, she is. She's going to handle the corner.
Because why not?
Well, she's got the best foot that I've seen so far. Her balls, her shots have a lot of acceleration.
Absolutely, yeah. And then she was trying to find Leah in the backside, and Leah just not quite there on time. Tried to put a foot on it, and it just goes over the goal.
And that's going to be a quick throw in. Pressure continues to be applied. EA is flirting with that third goal. They have gotten super aggressive since giving up that goal about 5 minutes ago on the clock. Right now it's 2-1, 12 minutes into the second half. East Ascension trying to extend their lead.
Prairieville throw in just because it's hitting off a few blue shirts down there.
And so another EA throw in. No, excuse me, another Prairieville throw in. And this time we're going to get Sonia to throw it in. And can Collins get to it? Collins did, and good block right there by Coots.
And I do want to thank Ascension Parish for not having any of the high schools the same letter. Because, like, saying, Prairieville, touchdown, send them all. EA, just out. I get tongue-tied sometimes with trying to say, oh, Prairieville ball, EA ball. Whew.
Yeah, that was good planning.
Yes.
Or just good luck.
I think so, too.
So you see basically bracketed around number 11 right there, Pransky, and not letting her get anything right there, and so then you get the whistle, and now it's going to be Prairieville.
Yeah, she kind of commits a foul, but not anything, offensive or anything else.
No.
She was trying to get the ball. Person's foot got in the way, I guess you would say.
Well, she knows.
And that gives it.
She probably knows that every time she goes out there, she's kind of the target.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so
the last 2 years of playing for East Ascension,
So that's got to be a little frustrating sometimes. And
Yeah.
sometimes you got to make a little move to get yourself free sometimes. And so trying to get that pass right, but blocked. I think that was Ruiz with the block, number 10.
Yep, so it's going to get EA a throw in right here on this side of the field.
And Ruiz
Just
fighting
plain
hard.
simple. Yes, love this. I love this already because of that one goal, giving Prairieville that extra little, you know what, we can stay with them and continue to go. And I think that gave defense a confidence. Like, hey, our offense showed up. Now we got to keep showing up.
So they try to get it over to Pransky, but pass a little wide, and now the throw in from Muller. There's Pransky again, trying to get it across.
Nice touches. See her.
Now here you go. You got
There
the
it
through ball.
is.
Is she offside? Yes, she is.
Man, that was beautifully played up too. Great opportunity. You know, I'm loving this already from these two young ones, as we can see right here. Oh man, just a
Right
simple,
before
ready
she
to
got
go
her foot
before.
on the ball,
Yep.
she escaped the defender. It was close, but it was definitely offsides.
Yeah, and as you're looking at both of those two forwards for Prairieville High, I mean, Hannah Lambert, number 12, is a ninth grader, you know, from Prairieville Middle, and then Sophia Collins is from Dutchtown High.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is pretty phenomenal to see the young ones already connecting. Such great talent already that's going to have a successful, you know, next 2-3 years together.
I'd have to go back and check the video or check my notes, but I think Sophia Collins scored a few goals last year for the Lady Griffins. I remember the name.
Pretty sure one against Sandoval
Yeah.
at the pit last year that we did. So, yeah.
So I'm sure that Prairieville is glad to see her. And I think that definitely more than football, basketball, volleyball, you didn't get a lot of transfers that were athletes. You do have some in softball and a few in baseball. But I think one of the things that happened, if you want to just ask me, was the fact that you got Coach Garcia from Santa Ma. You got Coach Moss from Dutchtown, who's helping out with the boys program. So you got coaches that these guys are familiar with and coaches that they trust and they like. And so they were willing to take the leap.
Yeah.
And build a new program.
I think, you know, that's just a testament of their love for the game and children in itself. But it's also, you know, making it something and creating something new. It inspires people to do. You know, Coach Adrian Garcia, you know, his resume includes also getting a stacked Santa Ma High team, you know, when he first got to Santa Ma, to now, you know, what he did for Santa Ma was just raise the bar and kept it up there. And I think that's an awesome job by Prairieville for getting Coach Garcia to raise the bar at such an early stage in the program, but also creating something that is not about necessarily winning, but creating, you know, great gentlemen for our community.
Yeah. And it's kind of strange when you get maybe the best boys coach and maybe the best girls coach, and that's very subjective, because I don't want to say anything rude about it or about anything else. But you got two really good coaches.
Yeah,
that came
smart with the game. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I hope everybody understands what I mean when I'm saying by that, because Marcus Dyer is a great coach, and you got the girls coach over at Santa Ma. Well, not as good as the other girls soccer coach at Santa Ma.
Hey, I just love the game, but yes, Coach Jacob too. Borderline is doing a great job, and here's trying to add 2 on the
good defense
on the resume.
Yep, that was Sonia with the defense right there on Cardi.
They're trying to find something, both teams right now. We just see it because they both want another goal, but then they don't. They both are, like, anticipating that they're going to do something wrong. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy to see girls' side, because boys, they're just going straight through people right after foul if they're wanting to, you know, the win or the ball. Girls, they're a little bit more standoffish, kind of sidetracked. They're trying to find their feet.
Yep.
You know, fresh legs are coming in for Prairieville, 2 of them. That's hopefully going to give them an opportunity to kind of outrun past Dutchtown, EA's back line.
A moment ago, you just saw about a 35-yard strike, and you see another one wide, And so you've had two nice strikes right there. The original one came from Baker, Savannah Baker, number 18. Was that Pransky with the other one?
Taylor.
Was that Cardi?
Yep,
yeah, okay,
Cardi.
Cardi. Never mind.
Yep, you're going to see Cardi a little bit on orange cleats on our side of the field. So, yeah, she's definitely wanting that second goal in this game. She is going all out and just shooting.
Right.
That's her third time I've seen her not touch the ball and let it roll and shoot. She's wanting it.
Mm-hmm. I guess the one thing that you got to be careful for, because they've ratcheted up the pressure on the EA on the Prairieville side, East Ascension's offense. You better make sure that you're ready on transition in a situation like this where you might give up a goal, because that's kind of what happened earlier, as you had all the action over there and then you had to transition and kind of had that breakaway with the one-on-one, and you had the goal that was scored by Lambert.
Yeah, I mean, it's those little things in the game, that came from two experienced players for EA, but then here it comes, Prairieville with a freshman scoring against EA, Division I, not district, team, non-district game, but you see this happening all the time. It's just the one in the drive and being there at the right time. As we can see, Prairieville is still knocking on the door, still getting through.
This could be their chance. No.
And
good
Galindo.
defense by Audrey Galindo.
Nice job, Audrey. Way to be that back line, that second to last grace before they see Richardson.
I guess you could say she's a coach on the field, too. Huh?
Absolutely. Been since a freshman.
Yep. She's always going to be in the right spot. Of course, I think that's probably due to a lot of reasons, right?
Yep.
The Galindo name is a big name here in soccer.
Absolutely.
On the East Ascension side.
East Ascension, Flight, Baton Rouge Soccer Club, all of them, because one way or form or
Here's
another.
A chance wide.
Oh, man. That was great shot. About left foot. Nice. You can hear it from way up here. Ting. It was nice.
Yep. A lot of big names, a lot of names that you hear, and you're like, oh, I know who these people are, and I know what their background. Oh, there was a push.
Yes.
Cardi tried to get away with it.
Taylor is wanting this goal. She is pushing down the innocence right now.
Well, this goal is everything. The next one right
Next
here.
one, yep.
So we are more than halfway through this second half. 2-1, East Ascension leads Prairieville. Prairieville scored the only goal of this second half. That came from Hannah Lambert.
Freshman. Love that. Absolutely love that. I always said, big moments happen because of great opportunities, and it doesn't matter if you're a senior, freshman, non-starter, come in as a sub. If your team needs you, you got to want that. And great job right there by number 10 for Prairieville. Is that number 10?
Yeah, that's Ruiz.
Ruiz.
Yeah.
Coming in and just containing the ball on that side, making sure that EA does not find that third goal and kind of set it away for them.
So you get the goal kick. Walker trying to set things up in the middle. Trying to get it to Landry. 50-50 ball midfield taken by Collins, going right. Trying
Great
to set
touch,
up.
Addie.
Got a chance at a through ball right here. Maybe. Nope. There it is, but blocked. Good job by Madison Abear.
Great defensive stance for EA for not really following their man, but just containing the ball in front of them and letting it stay in front.
So, a little counter from Prairieville, and now EA back on the offensive.
And here is Leah Pransky.
And that's why she's so dangerous, because look at the strides.
It's just simple. I mean, it looks effortless from her.
4 steps and she's down 10 yards with the ball.
Me, it would take 10 steps just to do that. I mean, maybe back in the day, but not today. Especially I'm bundled up, not like how I used to be, just like Leah, just put gloves on my hand and T-shirt and shorts playing a game. I see other people with Under Armour on and that kind of, I'm like, I was sweating too much. And, I giggle. Looking across the field, you see both of the teams, the younger players bundled up You know, letterman's jackets on, and things like that. And definitely, I was hoping that AR saw that Prairieville number 7, Callie Norman, was hit in the head by the ball. Hopefully we get a chance to train her, just kind of check her out, because it's a scary situation, you know, in high school sports with concussions and head injuries.
Yeah. Well, she's back up.
And speaking about concussions, for a person that has had 6 in their life, please get her off. Let's get her a little checked out first.
Well, she's walking back without any problem. And hopefully she'll be okay. She's a little hard-headed, I will tell you that, from knowing her from personal experience, and she will listen to this and laugh and probably agree with me.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely get checked out. Make
but she's
sure,
going to be okay, I think.
At the end of the day, APSB just wants to make sure that these kids get their education first. This is a great, you know, little, what I love to call lanyard in your high school experience. Makes it more meaningful, these games.
And now here you go.
Beautifully done. Get to it.
Can't quite get there.
And then Collins tries, but yet again,
Galindo is
just
everywhere
footwork,
on the field.
Finding it. They have open Leah, but she kind of waited for the ball to get to her, and great job by Sydney Nakan by just playing in and getting the ball out before an EA forward gets to it.
Yeah, you were talking about earlier. I love how, like, you got there's 4 girls under the same EA blanket on the bench.
Yes. But then you see, like, I'm sweating up here in the press box. Yes, I'm inside,
sun.
but we have the window up in the sun, and only their backsides are feeling the sun.
Yeah.
For younger players, that's actually the memories that they remember. You know, hey, do you remember that game that we did this? And, you know, we had the heater underneath the blanket, that kind of stuff. Yeah. That's causing memories and things like that. I always giggled as a coach seeing my players. The only thing I remember, in one game, we drove all the way up to Shreveport, and I felt like it was sleeting at one point, and I look over at my bench, and I couldn't even tell the players apart because the only thing I saw were their eyes. They had a blanket over their heads and all the way up to their nose, and I giggled, laugh at that.
So the throw-in just came in from Madison Abear, and now they're trying to set up, and Cardi trying to get
but cannot
inside
because
the
it's too Prairieville.
Was that a handball? No.
No, they're going to let that play out only because of kind of possession. Stay true.
Yeah.
It's very hard with turf, with that ball bouncing, calling handball.
Right.
If it's in a player's motion of running, it's not.
Yeah.
Hands go up, it is. It's funny.
You've seen a few.
Yeah.
You've seen a few that they have not called, and I get that. That makes sense. Good block right there.
But
here comes some aggression, right, as they almost got caught sleeping right there on defense. But
she saw Collins, but didn't realize that was an EA defender right there by her.
Oh.
Nice job by Sydney Nakan. Simple, showing that junior against senior.
I like the aggression right there, to the spunk on the defense for Prairieville, because they, like I said, they were concerned about number 11, and they talked about how big and physical she is compared to them, and so they're not afraid though. They stood up and they held their ground on that possession right there. So you got Cardi, Galindo. They've been all over the field. We've called their name probably about 1,000 times.
And we will continue to do that for the rest of the season, because they are working for something this season to host 2 rounds, to finally make it to the 3rd round of playoffs, in their first time high school experience. Great job by EA by playing inside the box, trying to find simple feet, but Hadley Walker is there solidifying those 7 shutout games. That's just phenomenal, especially for coming up, new program, new team. I know last year, she was at Dutchtown High, playing a key role in a lot of the JV games. So great job by them.
And now pressure. Prairieville trying to tie it, and the pressure is broken. Baker gets it left. We are now 30 minutes into the second half. So Prairieville maybe at the 10-minute mark, they might have to turn up the gas on the stove here to put some more pressure on.
It's going to be a Prairieville
EA.
throw.
You might have to throw some caution to the wind soon. Probably not crunch time yet, but it's getting close. At what point do you throw caution to the wind and say, if we give them a third goal, it doesn't matter. We need to score now?
Probably about the 7th mark.
Okay.
And that's pushing on the back
That
by
was
number
Amy.
3.
Madeline Amy.
Yeah, I
Guilty
maybe wouldn't have chose to do it on the parent side.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it's just a kind of laziness coming out too, like, just 10 more minutes. Good job. Great choice of going to your back line. That's
Right.
played the ball where you're facing. Get it back there. They can see the field better than you.
Exactly.
Then try to dribble and go through 5 people. I love that option. In EA right now, they're definitely honed into the offensive. Now they're playing with 5 high people to contain maybe another goal or just to keep it up a little bit longer, because I can see them more winding the clock down and okay with this 2-0 win. So that's great for EA, as keeping your experienced people up, but then also having your most experience in the back line with Galindo.
So now here comes an opportunity.
The goal scorer, Lambert. She tried to go around Galindo, but you are not tricking number 9 for EA today.
Yep. They do a good job passing, and they get those through balls through sometimes, and they did a good job of that in the Terrebonne game. But the defense over here, the defenders on the EA side, have basically shut that down.
Yes.
All half.
Yeah.
So a lot of credit's got to go to the EA side, Coach Olivier, and it's not just that they got a bunch of seniors, but they're playing well and they're playing good as a team.
They're playing with a purpose, and that's something that I think EA has lost in the last 2 years. But they are.
And there's a shot off the
right
post.
Here, Taylor. She wants it. She wants that second goal of the day, and she is chipping at the block right now.
Yep, that would have iced it right there. As we are 32 minutes
yes,
in.
Look at this replay, just how passionate she is. And simple one. And that post, which both posts are goalkeeper's best friend in the game. I know Hadley Walker is definitely hugging on them right now.
So now we get to 7:45. So this is maybe where you see it ratcheted up a little bit.
Absolutely. You kind of see more of the defensive stance just staying at a 3 people. Whoa.
Oh, that was maybe the most aggressive situation, and there's going to be a card right there.
First Visa card right here. It goes to number 12 for EA Coots.
Yep. Push down Camille Chisholm. I'll make that Addison knock in, excuse me.
That's what kind of you see with the younger, not even younger players, but kind of smaller players with kind of, I'm looking at both of them, and I'm like, there's a big difference in size.
That's what Coach Goodall was talking about that I was mentioning earlier. He's worried that his team might be out-physicaled.
Yeah.
So he's given them a lot of weight training, core training, and all that to make sure that they don't fall victim to the bigger teams. So that's something that he's working on a lot. But he's running out of time here.
Yeah, with right at 6.5 left. All gas on. Let's go. Let's see what we can do. Let's try to find our team mentality in the last 6 minutes. What can we do for our program? And this is a great opportunity. Lambert better let the ball keep rolling. See her.
Tries to get it through. Will it get there? No, not quite. Good job by Melena Richardson.
If she could have just kind of more PK area, that would have been all Collins. But great job. As we can see on this replay, just simple, kind of more to the PK area. Collins would have been there waiting for it.
Yep. And now you got Pransky, who I'm sure would love to score a goal. But now Prairieville comes the other way and gets through a little push. They get the through ball right there. Here's an opportunity. Shot high off
the post and
off
the goal
the
post,
crossbar.
literally in between. Hey, here is what I was just talking about. Prairieville, it's finding their mentality as a team. They're not giving up in this last 6 minutes. You know, they've had 2 more opportunities than usual. And EA right here just needs to breathe, find each other, because you got top dogs in the front, as you can see. But Layla, number 3, defensive back for Prairieville, stops it.
Good job by Sonia. Trying to get it back to Lambert, but goes out of bounds. Madison Abear throws it in. EA desperately trying to hold on. They lead 2-1. They have never trailed today.
Yeah, and, you know, Prairieville right now, I hope, you know, in these last 4.5 minutes, they can find what they have and, you know, test their limits because of who they face next Tuesday at home, which is a REV game of the week against Santa Ma. If you can finish this half with something unique and special, you know, tag that along to next Tuesday against Santa Ma, that has been very fierce this year in scoring goals, in having numbers up. Let's see what Collins can do against Galindo.
Galindo, great
job.
Defense, but there's an opportunity from Knockan.
Knockan
Right
finds
side,
Collins. Knockan again. Let's see.
No,
kind of takes it away from her.
And they clear. And they'll get the throw in. No, they actually
saved
get the ball
it.
back in. And two
EA
players collide.
But toughness out there. They want to stay in. They want to win this game. Great job by that. But Sydney Knockan runs out of real estate right there, and you can tell Coach Goodall wants something, because Sydney is now staying close to Taylor, because Taylor has been the threat for EA trying to score in this last 15 minutes of the game.
So EA trying to hold on. Like we talked about earlier, there's going to be a couple more girls soccer games coming up next week that we will cover. Santa Ma at Prairieville on Tuesday, and on Thursday, Dutchtown at East Ascension. So both of these teams will be playing on REV Sports again next week, and you can catch them live or you can catch them on REV.
YouTube. I love going back and watching a few of the favorite goals of the week for me.
Oh, you tripped and you got a collision and an injury, and I believe some of the EA side wants a
foul
card
called
there.
And a PK, because it would be inside the box right there.
That's Deanna Mendez, who's down, who made contact, and that was with Cardi.
Definitely time is going to be stopped.
Yep. You will get a couple of minutes of stoppage time. You had the ball to the head with Normand earlier. You had the card earlier.
As we see.
Yep.
Ooh, knee, ankle right there, but definitely a push. So let's see what the referee is going to say about this one.
Yeah, they haven't taken out a card.
Actually going to put it at the top.
Yeah, so they're going to.
Not even a PK. Wow. So they're going to make it to where when they first started the thing, and we're going to see Taylor take this for, is that Taylor? I think,
yes,
red cleats. Yep.
Yep, the orange cleats give it away.
Sorry, red in my sunglasses with the lights.
Well,
with the sun
they
today.
might be. Here it is, and it's going to be wide. You're trying to get it between the defenders right there. So now we're at the 2-minute mark.
Yep, I assume at least a minute.
We're probably at least 3 or 4 minutes away.
Yep.
So EA trying to get the clincher. And this is Pransky. It's in, and that's it.
Finally finds it.
That's the clincher right there.
You knew that name was going to find a goal eventually today.
3-1. EA has a commanding lead.
Yep. But look, not even, maybe 3 minutes left?
Yep.
Prairieville still has the opportunity for getting another one. Prairieville still has an opportunity to get another one to go into this week knowing, hey, we can score goals even against EA. That's something that could be a motivation for the rest of the week with their district games starting back up after next Tuesday's game against Santa Maria.
And you talked about this. People are going to look at this score, or people are going to look at a team's record, and they're going to make assumptions. But you might say this is 3-1. It was probably an easy game, but you had a ball go off the crossbar about 2 minutes ago.
Yep.
That would have tied it.
Absolutely.
And at that
many opportunities throughout the second half for Prairieville, but also EA in the first 10 minutes.
Yep.
They were shooting, they were doing things like that, so definitely weird, to see 3-1, but it definitely has been EA's finding the white framed with the net.
Yep.
That's how Coach Goodall used to explain it.
Oh, okay. Well, of course, that's the way he would explain
White
it, because
frame
he's
with
not
the
going to
net.
be. He's going to be.
He stayed
blunt.
true to this game. He kept it within seconds more, and so that's going to be our game here from EA.
And so that's going to do it. Our final score is East Ascension 3, Prairieville 1, and the goals on the EA side come from Taylor Carty, Audrey Galindo, and Leah Pransky.
3 special seniors on that EA roster.
And on the Prairieville side, you had the goal that cut it down to 2-1 earlier from Lambert.
Yeah, from Hannah Lambert, freshman. Awesome job right there for, making a name for yourself the first time you play EA, because I know as soon as that other coach sees what you do, they're going to be planning for you for the next 3 years.
Yep, and so this was a fun game. It kind of went the way we expected. East Ascension with their senior leadership and their experience beat the younger but hungry Prairieville team, and not much of a surprise here. I mean, Prairieville could have won this game. They had their opportunities to tie it late, but Prairieville comes out on top, and so our final score 3-1. East Ascension defeating Prairieville. Oh, we'll take a break, and we'll talk about our upcoming schedule in just a moment. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of our Spartans Sports Medicine Program. State Farm Insurance Agent Adam McCarty. Ross Downing Buick GMC Gonzalez. Athletic Center. Our Lady of the Lake Health. Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation.
Our final score, 3-1. Jeff Porsche, Jolie Hartman with you. Big victory for EA. Late goal by Leah Pransky clinches it. And so that's our final score. We're going to see these girls, both teams, in action next week. Why don't we put up the graphic, please, as we look up the upcoming Rev Game of the Week schedule. But before that, we're going to have Swack and I going to have to go out there Monday over to the west side. And we're going to get girls basketball, Prairieville versus Donaldsonville. Then you and I are going to be out at Prairieville for Santa Maria at PVHS. And then you're going to get with Jimmy Frederick, Dutchtown at EA.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the next, this Tuesday and Thursday's games because of the fact that it is AP Proud this week. Santa Maria versus Prairieville girls. You're going to have players that know each other. Does that make sense? And then on Tuesday night and then Thursday is Dutchtown versus EA. Anytime the 3 OGs, Santa Maria, Dutchtown, and EA play each other, it's always a fun match to watch and something exciting. And what I'm excited for is seeing 3 EA seniors be big for them against Prairieville today, have to face off Dutchtown on Thursday.
Yeah, that could be a bit of a struggle for Dutchtown, as they're the higher ranked team. They have the better record, so that's a little bit of a flip of the script right there. Now, as far as Prairieville goes, we talked about how we're going to be out there Tuesday. They've got a lot of Prairieville games coming up. You're going to have Prairieville at Donaldsonville, girls basketball. Coach Delry doing a good job with them. They won against Ascension Catholic last night. Then on the next day, that's the game we're going to do, Santa Maria at Prairieville, girls soccer. Then we're going to get girls basketball, Dutchtown at Prairieville over at the Storm Center, as we call it. And then we're going to get EA at Prairieville boys basketball on February the 7th. And then you can tell us a little bit about the East Ascension schedule coming up, which we're going to get right now.
Yeah, so EA on any kind of REV games coming up, we on the 16th, we were just talking about it. Dutchtown is coming to town on Thursday, and then EA at Prairieville boys basketball game on February 7th, and then Santa Maria at EA girls basketball on the 11th, and then EA at Dutchtown on February 18th for boys basketball. Such a lot ahead for EA Spartans. Exciting year for their boys basketball team at EA. Great season thus far. Girls basketball always having that tradition of EA. So EA will be live on REV in this next month with exciting games happening.
So, of course, you see on those schedules, we're also going to have Santa Maria games. We're also going to have Dutchtown games. So the whole east side will be represented coming up soon on the REV game of the week. So to kind of recap, our final score here, 3-1. EA defeats Prairieville. Monday, girls basketball at Donaldsonville. Then Tuesday and Thursday, Jolie will be back with you as we get 2 girls soccer matches, as all the AP will be represented. But that's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. I want to thank Jolie, of course, and then we get our director today, Nolan, who did a good job finally.
Nice job, Nolan.
Finally did a good job. Of course, we got Lyle at home, and we got all our camera operators. We got Jake, we got Courtney, we got everybody, and they all did a great job out there in the cold while we sat out here getting the sun in our faces. So our final score, 3-1, EA defeats Prairieville. You have been watching the REV Game of the Week.